And how about Brian, Dave? Like what a, well, yeah, me too, but what a, you know, yeah. Sounds so good in here. And somebody shouted out Dave to help me out because I was having a brain. I was like, I'm looking at him, but the name is not coming to my brain for some reason. Ever have that? Yeah. Must be my age is catching up with me now, huh? I don't know. That happens all the time. It's been happening for years. I think I'll start off with Charles Fillmore's in the Revealing Word, love, the pure essence of being that binds together the whole human family. The pure essence of being that binds together the whole human family. So I want to ask you all, and for those that are joining us online and those here, just, you know, when you think about that quality of love, when you think about that and expressing that, how does that change you? And what I mean by that is, if you're in a particular state at any given time and you were to change and just think about that quality of love and sharing that, how does that change within you? Just exactly what's going on within you. I know for me, when I pause and I think about what that could mean in a moment, it has the ability to take me into a different energy field, into a different conversation with myself for whatever might be happening outside of me. And I think that's what Fillmore was talking about when he said that it is that the whole human family. Because I would think that no matter where somebody is, no matter what they're responding to at the time, if they were to bring that element of love, and for Unity, the power of love, which is located here in our heart space, the number one quality of it is the harmonizing. It's not about emotional love or physical love. It's actually about creating harmony, the harmonizing frequency that would not only move through us, but then move out to somebody else. And actually, this happened earlier today, and I'll share this, that there has been a movement in the last number of years where when we hug, we want to touch hearts. Everybody familiar with that? Why does that not seem natural? Because it doesn't seem natural to me. It always feels natural to go to the other side. And I believe it's because it creates a circular energy between us. My heart is in their opening, their heart is in my opening space, and that energy moves between us. And I actually think if we go heart on heart, we're repelling each other. Our energy is actually pushing each other away. So I don't like to hug on the other side. It's completely unnatural to me. I actually have to stop myself and think about it in order to do it, whereas it's normal to just embrace the other way. So I think there's a reason for that. And I think it's because of the amount of energy and vibration that comes out of our heart. It is so much impact in the world. Like the heart studies that they're doing at the Heart Math Center indicate that there is a frequency and an energy that moves out from our heart as the most energetic source outside of our brains in our body is that heart. And so, do we want to be repelling one another, or do we want to be connecting with one another and filling that void, so to speak, in the other person with our heart? So to me, that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm missing out on something, and I would rather be connected on the other side when I hug. Continuing with Fillmore, he says, of all the attributes of God, love is undoubtedly the most beautiful. In divine mind, love is the power that joins and binds in divine harmony. The universe and everything in it is connected by that harmonization, that frequency of harmony, that connection of harmony, that source and energy moving around in the universe. And again, as I think about that heart connection, if you know, all the pictures I see of space, of galaxies and planets being created and suns being created, it always seems to be in a circle. There seems to be a circular flow to all of these things. And if you studied the spiral dynamics, that is what the spiral dynamics are about, is that we move up, we transcend the level before in a circular motion as we move up through the spiral and raise our consciousness. And that, for me, is what love does in any instance. We can bring that in. I was thinking about this morning, and so for each of us, it's not a question of can I love more, or can I experience love, or can I create more harmonizing moments in my life. I believe the question at hand really is, what are the barriers that I have constructed that prevent me from having that experience of love? Anybody familiar with those barriers? You know, we might call that the ego, right? On the planet here, we have this thing called the ego, which is always looking for more, always wanting to have its own way, wanting to be right is a really good example of the ego. Wanting more stuff, there's not enough, I need more, get, more, do, right? All about satisfying and constantly looking outside of ourselves for that satisfaction, the ongoing of that. And that is not peaceful. So if we go back to Advent, last week being peace, well, I think about peace equals love, right? When I'm in that state of peace, I'm open to love, and love equals peace. It's like a chicken and the egg. Which is first? I don't know. But to me, they kind of feed each other, don't they? This idea of having more peace in my life. What if I brought more love in? And if I bring more love in, how about I have more peace? Has anybody experienced that in their life? Yeah. When you're with friends or family or colleagues and there's that energy of love between you, are you all scrapping? You know, are you all looking to blame one another? Are you all looking to have a battle and who's right and who's wrong? No, there's a harmonization that's flowing amongst you. And so I believe that the two actually feed each other. If I want more peace, try on some more love. And if I want more love, try on bringing some more peace into your life, right? Bringing ourselves into that space. So I wrote this morning. Blaming, shaming, and waning are our way through life while hiding our greatest strengths. This is the ego talking, right? The blaming, the waning, the shaming. The truth of our capacity to love and shine bright. It actually prevents us from having that space of love. So anytime you find yourself in an argument with somebody, right? Blaming somebody, shaming somebody, pulling yourself back, limiting your own existence, chances are there is a lack of love. Yeah. Love for yourself, love for the other, love for the situation. Even if it's, you know, I've come to experience that, and I've shared this with you all before, that even the things that seem awful in my life that have happened in the past, as I look at them now, I can see that they've been an opportunity to bring in more love into my life. To actually, even to the point of bringing more love for myself, to say, wow, I got through that. Like, wow, I survived that. Because I remember what it was like back then, and it seemed like it was the end, right? There was no moving on from this. Anybody ever had that, where that conversation is alive in you, like this? How am I ever going to get past this? And yet somehow we do. In a lot of cases we do. And I think if we reflect back on that, we can pull from that a love for ourselves that you've gotten to this point. I remember there's the movie Tron. Does anybody remember the movie Tron? That was and I'm talking about the first movie. So Josh, you're nodding your head, but it might be... It might be... Not the new one. No, the very first Tron. Back when I was your age, there is this moment in the movie where, so Tron is in the movie, it's like inside a computer, and Tron is this computer program, and he's like a bit moving around the computer, very serious about his job. And there's this guy that's gotten into the computer who's still human and kind of makes fun of everything. And he's like, wow, the guy is like, dude, man, we made it, I can't believe it. And Tron goes, we made it this far. And I often think of my birthday as like, I've made it this far. Sort of like a pat on the back too. Like sometimes it's like, man, I made it this far. Like, holy smokes, how did I get here? But that's how life can feel at times, right? And I think we can celebrate ourselves at any time, in any moment, for having made it this far. Because we've all had our stuff to get through, haven't we? Yeah. We've all had our story of how awful it could have been or how tragic it could have been at various times. And yet somehow we're here. We're still moving forward. And we've brought all sorts of things. Maybe we've clung to certain things. Maybe we have brought in new tools, new ideas that have gotten us there. But the point is, you've done it, right? You've done the work to keep on keeping on, so to speak. So when I think about love and choosing peace, there's our ability to relate to others. And I heard this story about going in a restaurant and maybe you're in that state of ego, me. Anybody been concerned about themselves? Going out for dinner, where's the waiter? How's this service? Have they sat me down yet? Like all of that stuff that we might be doing because we're in a hurry. We're really important and nobody's taking care of us right now. So what the heck? Don't they know who I think I am? I mean, come on. Right? And so we sit down and maybe it's busy and the waiter or waitress is frantic, being run off their feet, and we're in our little state of demand, right? We're just driving ourselves here like I have to be dealt with. But what if we were to actually take a pause from that, like catch ourselves, right? This is the thing about what I have found about transcending my experience of life is it's noticing. Like we have to actually notice what's going on, how we're being, how we're responding. It's upon us, right? And in those moments when we notice, we could choose something new. So imagine that you're this person being run off your feet and you've got all sorts of people and tables and your boss demanding and demanding and demanding, right? Everybody wants it now. And you go to a table and somebody actually said, hey, you know what? I noticed that, it's pretty busy in here and you're probably being run off your feet and there's probably a ton of demands. I just want to let you know that I'm pretty chill and I'll work with you and be as calm as I can and just allow you to serve me at your pace, whatever that is. But just trust that I'm going to be settled right here, working with you on this. Something to that effect, where you just create like a partnership. And you know how they have a name tag, right? What if you use their name and actually became related to them? Like we're harmonizing, we're creating harmony in this moment. If you did that, let me ask this question. If you did that, do you think they would not want to serve you or they would want to serve you? Pretty obvious, right? Do you think that their level of service for you would actually be higher than what it would have been before because you took a moment to relate to them? Yeah. I heard that story, but I first witnessed this from my dad. My dad was this guy that I thought was weird when I was a teenager. Anybody think their parents are weird? Yeah. I'm pretty sure my kids think I'm weird. But everywhere we would go, if somebody had a name tag on, he used their name. And they would first of all think, do I know this person? Right? You know, like if you go up to somebody in a grocery market and say, hey, Jim, I'm wondering if you can tell me where the tomatoes are, right? They'd be like, Jim, do you, like they're now like spinning to think, does this person know me? Because they're not remembering that they have their name tag on in that moment, but they're trying to relate to you, and it immediately changes the dynamic. I asked him about this one day, and that's what he told me. He said, I want to relate to people. So I will use their name. He'll ask them how their day was. So this happened, the first time I saw this was at the teller in a supermarket, and I don't remember the person's name. Could have been Betty for all I know, so we'll use Betty. And he gets up, she's just, doing thing, people just went through all of that stuff, and he's like, hey, Betty, how you doing? And she, like, everything stopped in that moment, and she connected with my dad. And all of a sudden, everything changed. How she processed the groceries, how she dealt with my dad when she said, how are you paying today, sir? All of that stuff completely changed in that moment. That's what I believe a love, a harmonization for humanity looks like. That's what we have the power to do.
It's also a lot of fun.
It's also a lot of fun. Thank you. And we also have the ability to be in the earlier state, right? We also have that ability to be like, me. Where's mine? When are you getting it? How come you're not taking care of me? Can't you see how important I think I am? Anybody been that? Yeah. I think I've shared with you before I found unity, that was me almost all the time. Don't you know who I think I am, people? Pay attention to me. Kind of like my dog is in the morning. Dude, right here. So I have this quote from Thomas Merton. Our job is to love others without stopping to inquire whether or not they are worthy. Our job is to love others without stopping to inquire whether or not they are worthy. So I have an invitation. I invite all of us, including me, to take this on for the next week and a half, up till the 25th. Just to try this on, to remind yourself that that person in front of you, whoever they are, is worthy of love. And that you have the ability to share it. That you have enough love within you that you can actually share it without requiring anything back, anything in return. To just try that on, see what that feels like. And I expect a report back. So take notes, please. Send me an email with, on such and such a day, this happened, and then this. But can we all try that? Even if it's just for today. Just to try and live in that space of, I'm going to love somebody without them having to prove that they're worthy of my love. Because isn't that how you would like to be treated? Yeah. Me too.